Okay, I'm here. Hello, hello, hello. I have to get me some coffee. I'm so sorry I made you wait, but I'm here. And tonight we're going to talk about Preston Lloyd. This story was something that I was paying attention to. And then Raken asked me to do it because it was too close to her son's age. And so I'm going to give it a stab. And I hate to say that word, but I will be I'm going to be discussing this case tonight. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to do Brian. And this young man is really, really sick. So let's say hi. Hi, Georgie. Hi, Maria. Hi, Savage. Hi, Just Beto. Hi, I saw Stitching with Sisterlies. Hello and welcome. Hi, Crazy Cat Mama. Georgie and friends. Hello, hello, hello. Aesop's. Hello. Hi, Jody. Welcome. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Preston's case. So, just to give you a little bit of it, Preston was 16 years old. Well, before I get into that part, hi, Angela. It seemed for quite some time before Preston's beating, there were 8 other beatings associated with or alleged to be committed by this group called the Gilbert Goons. The Gilbert Goons are a bunch of teenagers, I take it, and some of them are like 20, you know, early teens, early 20s. They've been causing havoc in Arizona, in East Valley. So, what got the FBI's attention? Hi, Raken. I hope I do you justice, girl. This story has got me just cover a lot of them, but this one has got me pissed. So, so it was 8 other attacks before the FBI actually or the police really started doing anything about it. And on October 28th, Preston Lloyd was attacked, and supposedly it was over a cheap necklace, okay, at a Halloween party. Um, he died on October 30th. So a little bit about Preston Lloyd. Preston Lloyd was 16. He was a very popular student at Combs High School in Santan Valley. He served on the student council and played basketball, football, and golf. He was among, it was like 100 or so teenagers that went to this Halloween party. At about 9 p.m. on October 28th, hi, Mwit, hi, Jody, police responded to an area of 94th Street via Del Oreo in Queen Creek for a juvenile disturbance. I have that 911 call, and we're going to listen to it. Hello, Island Girl. Island Girl, I got your message, but it won't allow me to click it. So I'll try it again from my phone. For a juvenile disturbance. When the police arrived, they found multiple teenagers walking up and down the street, seemingly leaving a residence where they had gathered. There were conflicting accounts of what happened next. Some witnesses told the Arizona Republic that the party was out of control. It was just bad. So at 9:49, police received a 911 call about an assault in the same neighborhood, a few houses from the earlier call. Where they arrived, they found Lloyd lying in the roadway. So let me just pull this for you guys so you can hear this 911 call. I am shaking. I am really shaking. Hi, Shyla. How are you?
Of pages in court in these documents, and then we also have these really heartbreaking 911 calls that we're going through. But we also heard a lot of those calls. One of those was even Preston's friend, who you can actually hear telling the operator he was scared and didn't want to see his friend die. Another call to 911 was a young lady who was part of the many who performed CPR on Preston that night of the attack, You can really hear the fear in her voice. The Halloween party took place in a cul-de-sac in Queen Creek. We heard from neighbors in that neighborhood the day after that Halloween party. They really painted a chaotic picture with kids throwing up in their yards, walking around drunk. Well, today we heard those 911 calls made by those neighbors from that night, and many of them even told the operator they felt like something bad would happen if police didn't arrive quickly. But probably one of the most chilling 911 calls we heard today was of the people who were there at the scene, one of which says he's friends with Preston, who at this point was unconscious. And we do want to warn you that some of these calls are hard to hear
Trigger warning,
and they're
sorry.
distressing.
Did you see the people that assaulted them? Did you see them well enough to get any description, or did you not see it actually happen?
They all had ski masks on, and it was
How many was it?
a lot,
Like 4 or 5 or more?
like 15.
Now, this friend
Now, let me just tell you this. They've arrested 7 people. According to the police, as the more the investigation is going on, they expect to have more arrests. And I'm thinking I'm going to get to that part when I get to discussing the suspects. But I do believe that one of the young men's fathers will be arrested as well. He needs to be if he's not.
goes on to add other people at the party told him not to call 911. He said he was scared and he didn't want to see his friend die. And he also mentioned another one of his friends had a broken wrist. When the operator asked if he knew who those attackers were, he said he didn't know any of them and they didn't have any, quote, beef. While this caller was on the phone with 911, a group of teens were performing CPR on Preston, and they were also on the phone with the 911 operator. Here is that call. You can really hear the sense of panic in their voice.
Okay, how old is the patient?
About like 17-ish, young kid.
Okay, are you able to do CPR if you want to do it?
Oh, there's a bunch of certified lifeguards. There's a bunch of certified lifeguards right now. We all know how to do CPR.
Okay, CPR is in progress.
Yeah, we don't know, but he just got jumped.
Now, in Preston's GoFundMe, his family credited that group you heard from there of teen lifeguards attempting to save his life. Unfortunately, Preston died at the hospital just 2 days later, but the call really shows how these strangers came to Preston's aid in a moment of complete chaos. Now, this call also ties back to some of the documents that we were going through. Several of the witnesses that night reported seeing Preston Billy stomped on Preston when he was already on the ground. So obviously a lot still that we're learning in this case and still a lot more to go through. That's something that we're continuing to do.
We've divvied up the court records because there are so many different police reports that it can be everything from.
Okay, so there were 7 so far that have been arrested. Okay. Now this happened on October 28th. Preston died October 30th. And they didn't start arresting. I mean, they did a blitz attack. It was like what happened with P. Diddy. They went in full force. Okay. They were calling everybody at the house on bullhorns. When they went to some homes, a couple of people weren't there. They turned themselves in. But they've arrested 7 so far, as I stated. Now, here's what they have on the 7 they arrested. There are 3 of them that are 17. Now, they've all been charged with first degree and second degree murder. Now, people are asking, can they be arrested for the same charge? They hit them with the first degree, okay? Just in case that doesn't go through, they have a fallback with the second degree. I think they have a clear case for first degree murder. And that's what it was. It's not manslaughter. It's not negligent homicide. It was murder. Point blank period, murder. So Tristan Bailey, he's one of the ones that was arrested. He went to Perry High School. He was a graduate. He turned himself in. Like I said, there was 2 that were not home. I have thick skin when it comes to Casey, but this breaks my heart, makes me cry. I see so much of my son in Preston. Oh my God, Regan. I don't know Preston, but I strongly feel though I do. Damn. There are several cases that give me chills. This one, I'm actually shaking. Hi, Queen M. Welcome. Welcome. So he's 18 years old. Now he is charged with robbery in connection with the theft of the necklace, the $10 necklace. Okay. Then we have William Hines. He goes by Owens. He was arrested in January and accused him of being involved in a goon attack on the teen at the Gilbert house. Police also accused him of taking part in another goon attack on a teen at Gilbert In-N-Out Burger on December 2022. Prosecutors accused him of attempting to destroy evidence after the attack. Now, he didn't appear in court because he refused to be transported. Okay, but he did plead not guilty. Now, in case you don't know, if you're held in custody, you do not have to go to court. Oh my gosh, Shyla. Hi, Angie uploaded. How are you? Jacob Mesner, he's 17. He was served with an arrest warrant on March 7th. And he was served in a detention facility because he was being held on another attack tied to the Goons. But he was also accused of a robbery in Lloyd's attack. He was arrested on suspicion of involvement in an attack at a house party in November of 2022, which also led to Hines' arrest, who we know was there. Mesa police arrested Meisner in January in connection. So they were already at a detention center in an unrelated assault. Okay, they were already there. So they were served in the juvenile facility. And Meisner, he was in connection with an attack that happened on a juvenile in May of 2023. He was charged as a juvenile in both the house party and the park beatings. A judge ordered him held without bail. Hi, Tough as Nails. Then this is the little mofo that I don't like. Well, I don't like none of them. But Tyler Reiner, he turned himself in on March 6th. Again, he wasn't home. His dad, who I think should be charged as an accomplice after the fact. Okay? His home was among those targeted in a dramatic November 6th search in the gated Gilbert community of White Wing. He has for months been targeted by community activists who have accused him of being part of the attack on Lloyd. High school football star has pleaded not guilty after his father, the millionaire, was accused of trying to help him cover up the murder of the 16-year-old Preston Lloyd. Now, one of the father's employees, I think her name is Ashley, she is going to testify that she was privy to a conversation and they tried to get her help them to get rid of evidence. All of the teens are being charged as an adult. Every single one of them. But get this part. Now, when they had to go to court, the rich people, Renner, they were given special valet parking at the Maricopa County courthouse. They drove their Tesla straight to the back exit at the Durango Juvenile Court to avoid journalists. Now, when that happened, they had to apologize to the cops apologized to the public for giving them special privileges. Okay? Special privileges. But get this, his brother, Reiner, was also arrested. He's 18 on suspicion of 2 gang attacks. Now, you get these little rich white boys have nothing to do but to go beat up on people and stump them and rob them. What the hell are you that bored? Jesus. Now, the brother was arrested, and now he's included in this murder of Preston. I said Peter. I'm reading something else. Of Preston. So he was arrested in January. He was already arrested for 2 gang attacks in Gilbert. And those are included the parking garage in December of 2022 and the November 2022 Gilbert house party, in which Hines and Messner also had been arrested. Kyle was arrested in January on drug charges. But wait, it gets better with this family. Okay, it gets better. The father, Travis, 50, was arrested on the same day as Kyle on suspicion of drug possession and paraphernalia charges. He has been accused by a former employee of trying to cover up Taylor Reiner's alleged involvement in Preston's killing. Now, they've got the whole family except for the mother. The mother is not included in there. Becky is not in there. Becky's not there. Hi, Black Hat Music. So she's not there. But so you got the brother, you have Kyler, you have Tylan or Talon, whatever his name is, Talan, and you have the dad, Travis. All were arrested. Although Kyle was already arrested in January on drug charges and suspicion of being involved with the house party attack and the parking garage attack. Hi, Maria. Hi, Debbie. So, yeah, they're bored. The whole family is just bored. They need counseling. And then we have Taylor Sherman, 19. He was booked into jail on March 6th by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. He appeared before a judge the next day. The prosecutors are saying that Sherman, 19, is attempting to destroy evidence after Lloyd's attack and planned a potential story about what happened that night. Now, I found another video, which we're going to see, which we have all the text messages, okay? We have the text messages, but I'm going to finish playing this video first. Thank you, Black Cat. Thank you. These kids. We have Dominique Turner. Now, let me just let you know. The 3 teens that are 17, they cannot face life imprisonment because according to Arizona law, which I'm going to pull that up, they cannot go to jail for life. So I'm going to pull that up too. Dominique Turner, 20. He was taken into custody on March 6th and appeared before Maricopa County Superior Court judge the next day. He is accused of robbery in connection with Lloyd's attack. Prosecutors said in court that he took evidence from the scene of Lloyd's attack. Now we have another juvenile. His name is Tylan. It's Talyn, Vigil. He's 17. He made incriminating statements about his involvement in Lloyd's death, according to an interview and a social media post. His former girlfriend told the police that minutes after the fatal beating, he climbed into his car and bragged, I knocked that kid out. He bragged. So she was interviewed by the detectives, who later had her walk them through the crime scene. So days after Preston's death, Vigil appeared to make a confession on Snapchat. Now we know that Snapchat posts, they disappear. The post circulated widely on social media. He said, I hit a kid and this kid fell, hit his head, and then they kicked his head in the ground. Then I got word he died, so I don't know. So, Meffner, Reiner, and Vigil, they can only get life in prison. Those are the 17-year-olds. I'm sorry. They can't get the death penalty. They can only receive life in prison because juveniles in Arizona cannot be sentenced to death. But the prosecutors could seek the death penalty on the others. And I think they should. I think they should. So in Arizona, a person 15 or older must be prosecuted as an adult when they're charged with a violent felony or have a prior felony conviction. So either or. It doesn't have to be both. It's either or. They can be charged as an adult. Now, first degree and second degree murder, they're both violent felonies, okay? So charges that require adult criminal prosecution include first and second degree murder, forcible sexual assault, and armed robbery. This is just disgusting. So when I was telling you that they can't be convicted of both, okay? So they've met the first degree murder charge threshold. They met that, okay? They killed this young man with an felony, which was the robbery, okay? So then second degree is an R charge. So let's say they go to court and they find them not guilty on the first degree murder charge. That second degree murder charge is there. So they could convict on second degree as an alternate to the first degree, which I do believe they all need first degree. So the reason they're also saying a kidnapping charge, but here's the thing. You don't have to take the person somewhere against their will. The fact that you held that young man there and beat him down, he could not leave, that is kidnapping. You don't have to forcibly put someone in a car or remove them from where they are. The fact that you stopped him from leaving, that is a kidnapping charge. I don't think people understand that. So in Arizona, it states that it's knowingly restraining another person. And that's exactly what they did. Yep, they curb stomped him. And that's some shit. So they held that person. And when they were asked if there's going to be more arrests, they said as the investigation continues, there are going to be more arrests. So let's finish listening to this. And then I have a couple other things that we're going to talk about. But as far as I was telling you about Renner, the dad. Okay. I said her name was Ashley. I was right. So him and his business partner, which is Adam Kiefer, he needs to be charged as well, plotted to protect Talon by moving him out of town and hiding hand injuries he sustained in the beating. Okay, so he's not trying to protect Tyler. Okay, he's the one that was arrested on drug charges and also arrested on the other 2 assaults at the party and at the garage. But he's trying to protect the star football player. So he's trying to hide him out of town. Now they have their own business. Travis Renner, he has his own business. It's called Chandler Media Agency. And he has it with his business partner, Adam. Ashley stated that the pair of them concocted a plan to pin the killing on Talon Vigil, since his name is so similar to Talon Renner's. Now, this reminds me of the Murdaugh case. Okay? This reminds me of the Murdaugh case when they were trying to pin the death of this young woman on someone else who wasn't driving the boat to protect the Murdaugh name. So they were going all out to concoct a plan to pin this on someone else. So they are actually looking at additional charges. And I think every single person that's involved in this, that whether they try to hide people, whether they try to hide evidence, whether they try to lie on whereabouts, they all need to be arrested. So let's get back and finish listening to this. Let me go back over here.
From like a tipster called in and said that they recognized the Tesla that
Yes,
law
in the
enforcement was asking
football
for. But I saw one.
I'm sorry, the football coach too, he knew what happened and he still allowed Talon, Talan, to play football. Yes, he needs to go too.
And this was days after Preston was beat down, where they identified goon number 1, goon number 2, sending messages with other teenagers, and they said they know who you guys are. And he says, stomped a buddy out, no big deal, or something. Talks about him having a gun. They're threatening these other kids to keep quiet. So it's really kind of troubling, but a lot of detail that's coming out, naming names, showing photos and videos with timestamps immediately after the attack.
Now, you've been talking to the different police chiefs about this in the East Valley. What about the section that came out today? Is this new, the fact that they were telling these 911 dispatchers that something horrible was going to happen if police didn't arrive quickly? Didn't police cruise through that area and get diverted elsewhere?
They sure did. And they said that night they got called away from the party to go investigate a domestic violence attack that was underway. And they told me, the chief told me at the time, that when his officers drove through, they didn't see any laws being broken at that time. But there were literally hundreds of kids crowding the street. And there was a Snapchat invite to that house party, the Halloween house party, saying alcohol provided. So there was clearly teens drinking in some of the police reports I'm looking at here. They're admitting to being drunk that night, hiding in the house, knowing that things were going sideways. And sadly, Preston died.
And also, Alexis, you said they were in disguise. They had masks on.
That's the first time I heard that.
So yes, this is what we heard from one of those callers. A lot of the court documents also say that there were kind of 2 groups within this group of people. So some of them, they even named Talon Vigil. He was wearing normal clothes. They said he was wearing a black shirt. He was not dressed up. He told his friends that he was going to a Halloween party. He would not be dressed up. But then we hear of Tristan Billy, who he met at that party, and we're being told that he was wearing a suit that night. So that might have been part of his costume. So there's a lot of just different things that people are saying that we're now finally being able to piece together. So this really is a convoluted web right now, from all the court documents, the 911 calls, to what we're hearing from witnesses. Everything is now starting to come together and really paint a picture of that chaotic night.
It does give you a snapshot of what law enforcement and prosecutors have had to siphon through, just the sheer volume of tips and having to vet each one of these reports.
Let me just stop this. I want to hear some of the text messages. I want you guys to hear what they were willing to do to get out of this. So let's see. I'm trying to bring this down. Okay. Raykin said, Rhino was named player of the game, to which is sickening. Yes. And that football coach was aware because he heard them talking about it. So hold on a second. Let me bring you this one. I'm serious. This is giving me chills. It's really giving me chills. So we have the text messages, and let me bring that down. This one is what led to the attack. Okay, let's just listen to this one because I listened to this one already.
Teen violence is a major issue. ABC 15 is staying on top of for you. We're continuing to push for answers related to the death of 16-year-old Preston Lord. According to Queen Creek Police, Lord was attacked by multiple people without provoking or instigating the situation. And his friends were, quote, just trying to leave and get away from a party that had gone wrong.
Yep.
Tonight, ABC 15 senior investigator Melissa Blasius takes us through those minutes leading up to the deadly attack.
Our timeline is based on Queen Creek Police's investigation after they spent months of looking at social media posts, home surveillance video, collecting DNA, and talking to witnesses. The 1,100-page police report takes you back to a typically quiet Queen Creek neighborhood where a wild backyard Halloween party raged on October 28th. It's estimated more than 100 teens showed up, many in costume, some drinking alcohol.
There must be 30 cars out in front of our house and the neighbors. Bunch of teenage kids doing all, I don't know, they're all running around.
There's too many cars. These kids are going to hit each other. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get killed.
We're now learning Preston Lord was one of multiple partygoers assaulted that night as tensions rose. The first escalating event, a verbal argument between two individuals at the backyard party. Preston and his friends were near the argument, observing it, and someone was recording on Snapchat. Police say that's when suspect Preston Billy confronted the Snapchat poster, whose name has been redacted, demanding he delete the video. A few minutes later, there's a possible physical fight in the backyard between unknown people. That's at 9:46 p.m., where video surveillance shows a large group of people exiting and the adult homeowner walking behind them, then closes the large gate. Out on the street, Preston Billy and his group start following the victim group and taunting them. Based on witness testimony, police believe suspect Dominic Turner snatched a chain off the accused Snapchat poster from earlier, who's part of that victim group walking with Preston. According to witnesses, the chain is passed to Preston Billy, and suspect Jacob Meisner punches that same Snapchatter. The police report said it is believed to be the first punch that is thrown. A friend of Preston's, who's also punched, falls to the ground and his wrist is broken. At that point, everyone started running. Preston and his friends were being chased, and the police report says Preston was punched at least once. He fell to the ground where he is kicked and punched by multiple subjects, which rendered him unconscious.
Queen Creek Police Department, how may I help you?
Police get more 911 calls about 9:49 p.m. saying Preston was jumped, and some teens from the party, trained lifeguards, are performing CPR. According to the police report, Talon Renner, Preston Billy, Jacob Meisner, and William Owen Hines repeatedly struck Preston Lord on the head and body, even after he was unconscious. They are 4 of the 7 people who have now been charged with first-degree felony murder in this case. I'm investigator Melissa Blasius, ABC 15, Arizona.
So we have that one. So let's go, and we're going to see them in court. Let's go. Let me pull this up.
Wrote to someone on Snapchat.
I've listened to all of these. That's why they're there.
This case and the evidence that's linked to it surrounds around social media. The I-Team's Erica Stapleton is looking into what these teens were sharing on their phones, including messages that shed light on what happened.
That's right. The digital footprint here is really telling and disturbing, something police honed in on right away. And some of these messages are evidence in what ultimately led to those 7 arrests. And a warning, these messages are hard to read.
Yep, they are.
An admission over text, allegedly from suspect Talon Renner, got in a fight, killed a kid. Guess I don't know my own strength. Renner messaged after Preston Lord was brutally beat up at a Halloween party on October 28th. This, among other messages coming to light in the more than 1,100-page police report released by Queen Creek Police. Many messages sent the very night of Lord's beating. Lord would die from his injuries 2 days later.
Look how cute that young man is. Look how cute that young man is. I don't want to see you. I want to see him. Look how cute he is. I don't believe he would hurt a soul. And you just took this young child's life. For what? Because you were fucking bored.
2 days later, after the death, Renner allegedly
Yeah,
wrote
he
to someone on
admitted it.
Snapchat, "Everything is going
Yes,
terrible.
that's the
I
rich
can't
dad.
talk about it on Snap."
I'm gonna show you
Another
him
message
too.
allegedly written by suspect Talon Vigil. "I hit a kid and this kid fell, hit his head, and then they kicked his head in the ground. Then I got word he died, so I don't know." A message from another suspect, Jacob Meisner. "Delete everything. Vids, text, pics in costumes." Starting the night of Lord's murder, there was also a group chat involving Taylor Sherman. With redactions, it's not always clear who's writing, and some of the spelling is off. These were some of the messages in it. "Talon killed someone with his hands," referring to suspect Talon Renner. "Talon
that's
hit
the
him
rich
once,
kid.
and he was like dead. Well, if he's dead, it's jail time for you." Someone else wrote, "Proud," and later, "I actually think that kid is actually dead. There was a blanket over him, I heard. Why did Talon hit him? They was talking expletive, I guess." The next day, October 29th, just after midnight, Talon hit him once with a laughing emoji. Later that morning, "He's on life support right now. I feel bad for the kid, not gonna lie. Kinda sad." Then the day after that, the day Preston Lord died from his injuries. Bro, that kid died.
Hey, these are out. Parents, talk to your kids and continue to keep the Lord family in your prayers as well as the community.
Bridget Vega on a walk supporting Preston Lord's family just hours after this evidence was released.
It's really tragic that all of that is on social media.
Some messages later talk about reward money. Someone writing to suspect Taylor Sherman, "Yo, tell me you didn't delete the video of the dead kid. It's $10K if you give to the popo." The fight was also recorded. That video in police evidence. We are expecting more evidence to come out at trial. All 17 or young adult suspects are due back in court next month. And again, they've pleaded not guilty in this case.
Of course they did.
Stapleton,
They
12
pleaded
News.
not guilty when they have all this evidence, all that evidence on what they did to that young man. And they're going to plead not guilty. And they said they were proud. This is in Arizona. Now, I want to show you the football player's dad. Let me see. Let me get this and make sure I pull this right. Stop sharing. Let me share my screen. And I'm going to show you the dad. So here is our star football player right here. Are you able to see this? Yes. Okay. That's our star football player. My YouTube is, my studio is behind. So that's what's throwing me off because I was looking in the studio as well. So this is the star football player. And that's his dad, Travis. That's Daddy Travis, who was arrested on drug charges. You know, the millionaire dad. That's him. There is Talon, who hit him one time and, you know, didn't know his own strength. There's Preston. Oh, my God. Look at the size of this guy. Look at this little kid. But he played football, too. So this is just the article talking about what happened. And there he is right there again. That's Talon. And he was able to play football. There he is again. He is so cute. This is Daddy. Look at Daddy. I'm so proud. Look at Daddy. There's Daddy. Millionaire Daddy, who got to park his car in special valet parking, his Tesla, because he wanted to avoid journalists. Now, what about the other parents? What about Preston Lloyd's? Well, you know, they're going to be in front of the camera, but they got special privileges. Look at his eyes. He high on something right there. That's Daddy. This is Talon in court. Look at his arms. Look at this young man's arms. He doesn't look remorseful to me at all. Not at all does he look remorseful. Look at his arms. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So there's Becky, and Travis. They were escorted through the back exit as they attended their son's first appearance in court. They were escorted out. Isn't that nice? Look at the Tesla. Look, they had special parking. Look at that. She came into court with her Louis Vuitton bag. And Travis made a bold choice to wear bright orange trousers to court. No, he's not remorseful. There's the sheriff making sure they got to their car okay. Ain't that nice? So, Travis said that Preston's beating was part of some sort of initiation, as Talon wanted to participate in beatings like the ones carried out by the Gilbert Goons. Court documents say none of the suspects knew Preston before they attacked him over a gold chain. So Reynolds, who is Ashley, this is the story that they were concocting, okay? So Ashley said she was instructed to backdate electronic calendar entries to make it appear as if Talon was out of town the day of the Halloween party. She added her former boss even came up for a way for Renner, Talon, to divest himself from the company to minimize the possibilities of a lawsuit. Again, Alec Murdaugh. They were trying to hide money. His wife was trying to hide money because the family of Mallory Beach was suing Alex Paul Parker liquor store for the death of Mallory Beach. So they were trying to hide money. This is so sad. The wife found out that Alec was stealing and embezzling from the company. So he had to take them both out. This is the same thing they were doing. He was trying to get away from the company so it can minimize the lawsuits that they were probably going to face. This is all in writing, okay? So then Kiefer, the business partner, he allegedly requested Ashley to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And then he told the Arizona Republic that he had no connection to the allegations involving the Reiner family or the Renner family. So here we have Tristan Bailey and the other Talon who they were going to try to blame for this young man's death because his name was so close to Talon Renner. Okay? So look at these young kids. Then we have this one that looks psycho. That's Taylor Sherman, Dominique Turner, and William Hines, who goes by Owen. And they've all been charged with kidnapping and murder. Okay? Jesus Christ. So the detectives did speak to Ashley, and she said the statements that were made that related to our case corroborated what we already knew. It was corroboration rather than contradiction. It's information that we already knew through a different set of interviews. The Renner home was raided by police in November, but Talon was not arrested until Wednesday. Renner's other son, which I told you, Kyler, had been charged in connection with 2 separate gang attacks. The father had not been charged yet with the alleged cover-up. He hasn't been charged with that. He was only arrested for drug possession and paraphernalia possession. The Lloyd family attorney said for months, witnesses were threatened and terrified into silence in this case. Hi, JL. So look at this one. Travis Renner. This is the older brother of Talon. He looks crazy. Oh, let me move him so you can look at him. The other son, Kyler, has been charged in connection with 2 gang attacks at a parking garage and a house party in 2022. They have nothing better to do. Look at this one. This is Dominique. He's 20. He can get the death penalty. Okay? Let me stop this ad. I just saw it. He can get the death penalty. The 17-year-olds, they can't. They'll get life in prison. Okay? But for law enforcement's collective efforts and community members' invaluable cooperation, these arrests would not have happened. Preston's family said in a statement, each arrest represents a step towards accountability and justice for our son, Preston. They deserve justice. So after the fatal beating of Preston, the cops reopened multiple cases believed to have been conducted by a larger group of assailants. So now they are looking into all of these attacks, and they're dubbing them as the Gilbert Goons. Okay, so let's see. That is all on that. Jesus. Let's stop sharing that. I think that is everything that we have on them, but let's see. Now, Rakin did send me something. That was an article on why Laken Riley's murder is a national story and Preston Lloyd's is not. And what it boils down to, and I'm going to actually say that, it is a political thing right now. It's an election year. It's political. The fact that an immigrant paid Laken, and we've now find that he had been stalking her. So it opens up everything because of the fact that Biden has let all of these immigrants in. And we just, New York just lost an officer who has a 1-year-old daughter. I mean, cops have kids, but this man, and he was paid by an immigrant. I understand there's so much crime being run up and down the streets of New York again because of all the immigrants that are there. And it's an election year. And it really wasn't a national story. Lincoln was a national story because of the circumstances. It was an immigrant that paid her. If it wouldn't been an immigrant, we probably would have heard something, little something about it. But like Preston Lloyd, it just wasn't national news. Now, if he would have been paid by a group of immigrants, it would have been national news. And the fact that these young men that were arrested, they're from the suburbs. They grew up in these American neighborhoods. So they weren't bussed in. They went to nice schools. They have nice homes. And the fact that the person that was accused of killing Laken was an undocumented immigrant. And they bring up valid points. And when I read them, because when I read this article, I was like, oh my God, they're telling the truth. It's about politics right now. It's not about the values. It's not about the justice. It's about politics. The fact that the Republicans want Biden out of office. Biden is not fit to be in office. Let me tell you, okay? I don't care for Trump. Don't care for Trump. Don't really care for Biden. But he's not fit to be in office right now. I think the man has serious dementia, okay? So here's what they say. We're not talking about values of justice, but about politics. Yep, they're scapegoating people. As if the murder of an American is worse because it was committed by someone who's not a citizen. Thank you. It doesn't make the murder no less not worthy being national news. And it's that when you think about it, the opposite should be true. It should be worse that someone who grew up here with all we have to offer and all the opportunities that exist for an American would take someone else's life. So, and it's the truth. We're not talking about values of justice. We're talking about politics. It's about politics. And they're saying that migrants are less likely to commit crimes than we are. But that's not what we're seeing right now, especially in New York. That's not what we're seeing right now. At one point, Norfolk, Virginia had more murders per capita than New York. Now we have New Orleans, that is murder capital USA. Hi, Grass Toucher. So they're saying that the homicide rate in the United States has fallen nearly 13% in the last year. But we were close to 19,000 killings. And they're saying, I guess that the families of each and every one of those who were lost feel the same anguish, and they do, as the families of Preston and Lincoln. It shouldn't matter who killed you. It shouldn't matter if you were an immigrant or if you were a United States citizen. You still took their child's life. So they're saying that, that a Georgia congressman invited Laken's parents to the State of the Union address last week to honor Laken and all American victims of illegal alien crime. No, what they did was put that family on display because it's an election year. Hi, PMR. They put that family on display. That's what they were trying to do. Her family didn't go. They declined. They were putting them out front to say, hey, Biden has let all of these immigrants in. Let's get Trump in office so we can clean these streets and make America great again. America is great. That's what they were doing. They were trying to use this young woman's tragic death to further their political agenda. I'm sorry. Ooh. So they were trying to victimize the victims. And this is what the article is saying. They were victimizing the victim. That's what was going on. They wanted to re-victimize that family by putting them on display and saying, look what the Democrats has done. They've let all of these immigrants in. Oh my God, PMR. What they saying that but the dad was trying to cover it up. That reporter was speaking facts and saying things nobody else was bold enough to say. Well, when I first heard it, and I heard it, and I think I heard it on either Angels or Shucks. They were saying that they had invited the family to come for the State of the Union address because they wanted to but they wanted them to speak about what happened to their daughter. When I first heard that, I said, they're putting them up there to say, look what the Democrats have allowed. We as Republicans are going to clean up the streets. They don't give a shit about this young woman's family. They really don't care about her. Just like they really didn't care about what's going on with Preston because it wasn't done by an immigrant. It's all politics. You lose a child, you lose a child. It doesn't matter who did it. It's done. Yeah, the parents were covering it up, especially Travis Reiner Renner, who was trying to falsify evidence and backdate electronic calendars to make it seem like his son wasn't even in town, and was going to try to blame it on the other young man because the names were so close together. Is that reporter still? Yeah, is that reporter still? He should be employed. He should still be employed. He's speaking the truth. So, and like I just said that. This article states Laken Riley's death is less a tragedy to mega politicians than it is an opportunity, a way to score political points. God damn, I just said that. And I hadn't even finished that article. Riley, Preston, I'm gonna say Sebastian. I'm gonna go with Cody Bigsby. I'm going to go with Madeline Soto. All of these people are victims. They're victims every day. Now, I understand that the cop's funeral went on and they've raised all of this money for the family. I remember when this cop was killed in Houston, then found out that he was meeting his girlfriend and it was altercation. But they raised all of this money for the family. And one of my really good friends, and she retired like the following year. When a cop is killed in action, that family is well taken care of. Well taken care of. Now I see you raise all of this money. They were close to $1 million. We have all of these homeless people out here. We have all of these abandoned warehouses. We have all kind of things that we can turn into shelter for these unhoused people. When they did the regentrification in Houston, we had all these abandoned warehouses. They turned them all into studios, or it was just a mess because they didn't want to open up a homeless facility across from the stadium across from Minute Maid Park. They didn't want to open that up. So they turned that into all of these apartments, which guess what? The parking was horrible. So now just what everybody has moved out of this building and it's up for sale. JL, stop. But I'm just saying, this young man's death is no less of a tragedy than what happened to Laken Riley. And we have to stop looking at things as an opportunity. They wanted to put this family on display. And I'm so happy they turned that down. They turned it down. Now, on the other, and I told you that there were eight other attacks. So in November of 2022, there was a juvenile that was assaulted outside of a home near Higley and Riggs Road in Gilbert. December 3rd, there was a group of people assaulted and an adult in a parking garage on Vaughn Avenue, west of Gilbert Road in downtown Gilbert. December 16th, there was an assault on a victim in Gilbert. December 17th, there was an assault near Higley and Elliott Roads. December 30th, Connor 17 was assaulted while in his vehicle by a group of youths outside an In-N-Out Burger, which we heard that Kyle and Wisner and I forgot the other one's name, they were all arrested in conjunction with that. May 29th, a minor was assaulted in Mesa, near Val Vista Drive and Pablo Avenue, between Broadway Road and Baseline Avenue. It wasn't reported to the police until January, and that's January of 2024. July 6th, William Hines, 18, was accused of vehicular assault in connection with an incident that left a victim injured. EJ Montina, he's in staple. He is a staple in Arizona news. Yes, I saw that article and I started reading some of his other articles too. August 18th, a group of youths violently attacked a minor in an In-N-Out burger on Market Street. October 28th, this is when Preston Lloyd was assaulted. October 30th, Preston died. November 14th, this is when the FBI offered a $10,000 reward, and we saw from the text messages they were asking, hey, did you delete this video? Because if not, it's worth $10K. So they were trying to get paid of killing this young man, and they were part of it. One parent shipped their child to Europe for safety because the police failed the family. Oh, shit. November 18th, a 16-year-old boy was attacked by multiple people in a desert area near Wagon Wheel Road and Sundance Drive in Santan Valley. November 30th. Now, this is after Preston Lloyd's death. Okay, they're still doing this shit. But they said that it's more than just those 7 people. But they're still doing this after the death of Preston Lloyd. November 30th, Queen Creek Police Department said it was making progress in the Lloyd investigation. December 22nd, Queen Creek Police Chief Randy Bryce defended the lengthy Lloyd investigation, which had nearly reached a 2-month mark without any arrests. So he's defending it. He said that Lloyd's death and a group of youth known as the Gilbert Goons, who have been connected to a string of violent assaults in East Valley. December 28th, Queen Creek PD announced it submitted charges against 7 suspects in the Lloyd case to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. The list of names, which has not been released, included adults and minors. So 20, 18, they're considered adults. 17, they're minors. January 3rd, Gilbert Police Chief Michael Solberg responded to charges submitted in the Lloyd case and denounced youth violence in his city. Solberg didn't mention the Gilbert Goons by name, but said the department was investigating prior cases involving youths in the past 2 years to see if there were any connections. Ooh, yes, all of them have been charged, all but 2. I thought they said they were all charged as adults. There's 3 that can't get the death penalty. The other ones are eligible for the death penalty because they're over 18. Yes, and that's that Tylen Renner. Ooh, his name gets to me. January 5th, Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell said the review into charges stemming from Lloyd's death would be a lengthy process. Mitchell said her prosecutors had sift through 1,800-page police report and 2,000 pieces of evidence, including 600 videos. Now, that was going to be my question. Did they get home surveillance camera, ring cam footage from all these homes over there? Because I'm sure they have ring cams. 2 were minors unless, yes, all of them now are charged as adults. The 3 17-year-olds can get life imprisonment. They're not eligible for the death penalty, which I think they all should get it. No offense, but they all should. They should spend the rest of their life either rotting in prison or they need the death penalty. On January 8th, the Gilbert Police Department said it was investigating 8 youth violence cases that could involve the Gilbert Goons, including 4 that were recently reopened. The department said the 4 new cases came from incidents that were previously unreported and came about through online tips. Police added that the investigations would determine if Gilbert Goons could be classified as a criminal street gang under Arizona law. Why wouldn't they be considered a a criminal street gang with all the violence that they've done. And this is after they've killed Preston Lord. I don't understand. So I've already read you these charges, but we're going to do this. In one case, Jacob Pendleton, 20 of Gilbert, was arrested for his involvement in the November 18th, 2023 attack in Santan Valley. Now, he is not charged with anything having to do with Preston Lord, okay? Pendleton said in a post-arrest interview he was associated with the Gilbert Goons, according to a probable cause statement. It was the first connection announced by the police between the Gilbert Goons and the violent attacks. What? He has a 20-year-old, a 17-year-old pregnant girlfriend? So Pendleton, okay. So he wasn't charged in connection with Preston Lord. So they said in a separate case, Christopher Fantastic, 18, Arias Arando, 18, and two 16-year-olds were arrested on aggravated robbery and aggravated assault charges on August 18, 2023. This was for the attack outside the In-N-Out Burger on Market Street in Gilbert. You mean to tell me that you can't consider this as a criminal street gang? They're criminals. They're criminals. In January 11, a 17-year-old boy was arrested in connection with the May 29, 2023 assault of a minor in Mesa near Val Vista Drive and Pablo Avenue. Look at all of these young kids. January 12th, Garrett Bagshaw, 18, was arrested in connection with the November. This is a gang with the November 18, 2023 attack on a 16-year-old boy near Wagon Wheel Road and Sundance Drive. January 16th, Christopher Fantastic again, already in custody, was arrested on aggravated assault in May 29, 2020, near Val Vista Drive. January 27, here goes Kyle Reiner, Taylon's brother, was arrested in connection with the two 2022 assaults, one from November on Higley and Riggs, and one from December 3rd, that Gilbert parking garage incident we talked about. Gage Garrison, 18, and an unnamed 17-year-old were also arrested, which we did talk about that. But Garrison isn't connected to Preston Lloyd. The other one is. January 25th, a second suspect, unnamed 17-year-old, was arrested in a connection with the November 22 assault near Rick. This is a gang. Dillion Haynes, 19, was arrested for an attack at the In-N-Out Burger. This is a gang. Then we have Pendleton, Owens, and the 17-year-old they're not mentioning, but for another attack on Williams Field Road and Market Street. The same 17-year-old was also arrested again. And why they keep arresting these kids and letting them go? This is crazy. February 1st, two Gilbert youth violence suspects were indicted on assault charges in a pair of incidents that were previously unreported. Here we go with William Hines again. Now, we know he's arrested for first-degree murder, too. Was indicted on one count of vehicular aggravated. Jesus Christ. February 7th, Preston Lloyd broke their silence on their son's death. This is sad. So then we have Garrison again. He was arrested on burglar charges. Then we have a new player, Cody Castors, 18. This is a game. Here we go again. Christopher Fantastic was arrested again. February 15th, and an unknown 17-year-old. February 20th, a 17-year-old girl was arrested in connection with the September 2023 assault. She's facing 1 count of aggravated robbery, 1 count of assault, 1 count of disorderly conduct. Here we go again. Gage Garrison, Cody Castores, they were arrested again. No, they were indicted this time on 1 count of aggravated assault for an attack that occurred December 17, 2023. Kyla Reiner, 19, Travis's son, the drug dealer, and the other son who killed Preston Lord, was indicted on 6 counts stemming from traffic stop March. Oh, Jesus Christ. These are nothing but a bunch of bored-ass teenagers. Bored-ass teenagers that they're just running fucking amok. They're running amok. You have all of these cases? You're right. If they hadn't screamed, and yep, Jesus Christ. Hi, Jennifer. How do you cover something like this up when you have all of these violent assault charges? And I'm sure, but you heard arrested. It's the same names. And they said the organization is probably bigger than that. Wait a minute. Just watched the press conference from Gilbert police captain. It was pathetic. If the community didn't scream file, it's mine, but how much? There's a lot of violence there. What did they think? They were the Bloods and the Crips? I heard this was killing and assaults. And Kid Rock, how are you, sweetie? So here's the thing, PMR. Now you put up all these orange ribbons, right? And this man decides to go to court for his son's first court appearance in orange pants. That was a slap in the fucking face to those parents. That was a slap in the face. And then the fact that he got to have special valet parking because he didn't want to face the reporters, and you drove your Tesla to the back of the juvenile detention center. He wore bright orange pants to court that day. Yep, special treatment. Escorted him to his car and everything. Jesus Christ. Yep, special treatment. Valet parking, escorted through the back door. This is bullshit. This is a very sad case. Reagan, do you want to come up? I can drop the link for you. Do you want to come up? There are enough of those teens that were arrested and facing serve life-changing sentences that I foresee at least 1 or 2 will snitch and testify for prosecution in exchange. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If they snitch, they're only doing it because they want a lesser jail sentence. If they don't get life in prison, they should get 40 years. Seriously, I will give them 40 years. But they need life in prison, each and every one of them. I wish the 17-year-olds could face the death penalty. But we saw Talon, whatever his name is, Renner, in court. There was no remorse. We saw the size of his arms compared to this little kid, Preston. There is no accountability, none. And the father knew his son killed this young man, and you were trying to cover it up. I'm always going to be your parent, but I'm not covering up shit for you. You're going to have to take accountability for what you've done. They need to have accountability. Release documents that were supposed to be, and now witnesses are being threatened. Yes, They were saying that a lot of them were being threatened. We actually got to hear some of the text messages that were going back and forth between these little gang members. Let me see. It was another one that I watched. Hold on, let me go look. So you can, let me see. This was one day ago. And then they have, hold on. They're talking about how Taylor was allowed to play football. Okay, I have it. Hold on. Let me get you this one. This is the one I saw. I do that too, Rakin. I sit in my bed and I do work. Hold on. Let me play this one for you.
Travis, what do you have to say about any
So this is Travis. It's
allegations
quick.
that your son was taken out of the area and that your family has the financial means to take him out to a different country?
Hey guys, no comments.
But Daddy was arrested on drug charges. Daddy was arrested on drug charges. And then, you know, they were gloating about it. This is sad. They were gloating. I don't want to watch that. But wait a minute. Okay, here we go. This is the one.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, Mark Curtis has the night off. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at one of the suspects accused of killing 16-year-old Preston Lord and how his school has handled the
They
case.
all need,
17-year-old Talon Renner, a suspect and student at American Leadership Academy in Gilbert at the time of the attack, was allowed to continue playing football in the weeks following the murder.
Yep.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono has more.
Despite police reports clearly documenting administrators' knowledge of the accusations against Renner, a school spokesperson is putting the blame on the head football coach, who has since been terminated. More questions about ALA Gilbert North's decision to allow Talon Renner, a high school junior now charged with first-degree murder, to continue playing football after the deadly assault police say he was involved in. After the October 28th assault, records show Renner was pulled out of school by his parents on October 31st. Tips received by Queen Creek police claim Renner was taken to a family property out of the valley so his hands could heal. On November 2nd, police records show ALA's dean contacted police as students were talking about Renner on social media, accusing him of murder. After missing a week of school, Renner was back on November 6th, and so was the Queen Creek Police Department, seizing Renner's cell phone and taking photos of his hands, noting minor discoloration and cuts. That weekend, he was allowed to play in his football game. The following week, the day before the 5A quarterfinal game between ALA and Horizon High School, Horizon's head coach received.
But why didn't the dean? Because, okay, the football coach can let him play, but the dean could have stopped all of that. Why wasn't he fired? The dean could have stopped that.
This email from a concerned person saying, quote, "It's not fair for any teenager to have to be on a field with cold-blooded murderers." The email was reported to Horizon administrators. More evidence the allegations against Renner were widely known. Still, ALA allowed Renner to play the next day, and he was named player of the game.
That
When
is
12
fucked
News
up.
asked ALA about that decision on March 7th, a spokesperson said in an email there was no evidence or arrests at that time involving any ALA students. A news statement on March 29th pointed the finger at the head football coach and athletic director, reading in part, "As new evidence came to light, measures were taken to remove the student from our school."
So it says American Leadership Academy celebrates with the community that the perpetrators of these crimes are being brought to justice, but that's after you let him play. At all times during the investigation, American Leadership Academy cooperated with and followed their guidance from law enforcement. Bullshit. As new evidence came to light, measures were taken to remove the student from our school, and we terminated the football coach. Coach, why didn't you terminate the dean? Teen violence is a despicable plague that has infected many schools in our community. We have had and will maintain a zero tolerance zero tolerance policy when it comes to violence. I couldn't even say that because you knew this guy was involved in that.
And we terminated the football coach. ALA has not answered our follow-up questions, asking if the decision to let Renner play was made exclusively by the coach and what action was taken against administrators who were also aware of the allegations against Renner. And the State Department of Education tells me situations like this are out of their jurisdiction, and the AIA says the same. They don't have any bylaws that address criminal activity.
Damn.
This was the school's decision. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
So that was the school's decision to let him play.
Good evening.
Okay, so the school in a whole, not just the football coach, but the school in a whole should be held accountable. That means the dean, the assistant dean, whoever else has authority there. They should all be held accountable, and they all should lose their jobs, because they knew what this young man was accused of doing. Now, granted, you're innocent until proven guilty, but come on now. Is that on protest on campus? Hold on. I haven't seen any of that. Hold on. Let me go look. I didn't see any of that. Protest on ALA campus. Oh, not them. I want American Leadership. Oh, I can't even spell right now. Leadership Academy. Let's see. What does it come up with? Students protest outside school after dozens. Okay, there is no, let me see if there's a news thing on it. It's just, okay, hold on a second. Let's go here. Let me share. It's just giving me.
A great business technology partner like Les Olson IT has all the office products you need. Computers, servers, business telephones, surveillance cameras, office applications are just the start. Learn
that's
more
Spanish
at
Fork,
lesolson.com.
Utah. Yeah, that's not that one. That's Spanish Fork. There is nothing about, hold on. There is nothing about that academy. They're talking about their dress code. There is nothing about the one in Arizona. PMR, there's nothing about the one in Arizona. It's all about Utah, about the dress code, body shaming. It's nothing about Arizona. Nothing. Channel 10 covered it. Hold on. Let me go look at YouTube. Hold on. American Academy protests, Arizona. Hold on. Nope. Not even on YouTube. Not even on, hold on. There were community events, community walk. Preston Lloyd murder, Arizona's teammates invited to Phoenix Suns game. Nope, nothing about the protest at the school. Hold on. Hold on. Let me share this with you guys. This is crazy. Hold on. Hold on.
You became aware of the incident surrounding Preston Lloyd.
Yes, sir.
Explain what happened.
I was
That's
working
Ashley.
as the senior executive assistant for Relentless Media Agency, Relentless CEO, Move Martial Arts, and MX Martial Arts. I was the executive assistant for all 4 of those companies, even processing payroll for all 4 of those companies. Shortly after Halloween, I came to the office and was approached by Adam, who brought me into the conference room and
That's
presented me
Adam
with an
Reifer.
NDA. He asked me to sign it. He didn't give me much time to review it, and kind of laughed it off. He told me that Travis's son had been involved in an incident at that time, not knowing that Preston had passed away at that moment. He explained that was involved, and Travis was currently taking to the cabin because he had some injuries on his hand. He just said, review the NDA, no big deal. I just need it. It's only case specific. It has nothing to do with the other companies. Please sign. I'll give you a copy afterwards. So I did. I signed it because I could not afford to lose my job at that time.
What was your understanding of how they reacted to it? What did they do?
Immediately said they were not talking. They lawyered up and they were going to cover this up. They made sure to get
Reddit
a
page.
lawyer. Adam
Drea, do you have
was
that
told
link?
that Travis is more than likely going to have to file bankruptcy because of this case. It's going to break him, and because those two are so tightly wound financially, they are in business together in 4 different entities, that Adam was going to need to seek an attorney and a bankruptcy attorney to possibly buy Travis's shares to kind of separate ties between them. And that was what I was told. However, it continued that Adam told me he never had any intention of completely losing Travis as a business partner. He can't financially afford to lose Travis, and he was just going to let the dust settle, words verbatim. He was going to let the dust settle and let Travis back in.
Did they talk to you about the killing of Preston Lord, or did they talk in front of you? What was the conversation?
It was both. I was talked to about the case, and I was around when the case was talked about. The common theme about it was involved. He hurt his hand because he punched Preston initially, possibly causing cuts and abrasions. And that is when they took town. I found
They took him out of
calendar
town.
evidence that corroborating this, that all of a sudden Travis was gone. At that time, I was being told by Adam that that's where they were at the cabin, letting hand heal, and I was weeks go by, and I was always pulled aside to give an update on the case. Go back to school, I pretend like everything's fine. They would update me, on their case proceedings. They would tell me that only expected to get 9 to 10 months out of this. That's what his attorney is saying, that they have no plans on talking. They're just going to cover it up, and then everything will be good.
So there was never any conversation about turning Travis Renner's son in?
Nope.
Adamantly no. They refused. They talked about how they would never do such a thing. They weren't talking. They said they had plenty of money. They would be able to get away with this, essentially.
Okay. I see something. Lockdown firing.
New at 10.
Okay.
Fiery,
Hold on. I
intense
found
school
something.
board meeting in the East Valley
Hold on.
tonight.
I found something. I found something. Hold on. Let me share this. I found something, but maybe not that. Here we go. This case is pissing me off, seriously.
ALA North today and over the weekend, as they have finally made a move in relation to handling of a suspected Gilbert Goon. I'm Billy Tarasio, Arizona attorney, and on Friday or Saturday, Coach Randy Reisdorf was let go of ALA North. He led the ALA team to a state championship in 2022, 4A championship, and then ALA got moved up to the 5A bracket, and
We don't care about all of that.
Playoffs. The controversy comes because a star player was not at school the week prior to the game. The theory was that this student had injuries to his hands because he was involved in Preston Lord's murder and needed to be out of school for the week prior to heal and get rid of the evidence. Allegedly, Randy knew about that, covered for the student, had other students help do his homework, and then allowed him to play even though he should not have been eligible, which angered parents on the team because, of course, if that child's playing, then their child isn't playing. Now, today, the ALA students, at least some of them, had planned a walkout at 10 a.m. in protest of Randy Reisdorf's firing, and instead, the school put the entire students on lockdown so that they couldn't stage a protest. Children were texting their parents saying, we're on lockdown, there's a gun threat, there's a school threat, there's a school shooting threat at school. Parents, of course,
Nothing,
out,
seriously.
and at 10:12,
nothing except for
sent
her.
out an email. From my vantage point, ALA is a little bit late to the party. OHM was the first
Oh my God, I want to go.
institution, even though it's private, it was the first institution to take
Yeah, I played the
stance
911
against
calls,
the
PMR.
Renners for their alleged involvement in Preston Lord's murder. It was the next day or the next
Wait a
2
minute,
days after
PMR.
that
Is Rankin the only one
police
invited? Can I
arrested
come?
both Travis Renner and Kyler Renner.
Yeah, I want
And
the
then
bathroom
within
too.
that following week, ALA made the move on Reisdorf. Will it be enough? Will Reisdorf's firing be enough to satisfy the community, which feels like this student
Oh my
got
God.
special treatment, and ALA, with their traditional values, never ever should have covered for this student?
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. And they have more lawsuits coming. Oh, damn. She's good.
7 people were arrested for Preston Lord's murder, but most of the attention has been on one boy and his family. Why are people so fascinated and obsessed with the Renners?
Because they're dirty.
Yesterday, I was contacted by another one of their franchisors. So if you recall, Doug
They're dirty.
Payne was the franchisor of OHM Fitness, and he reached out and explained that Becky Renner was the area manager for the franchise OHM. She owned them and she owned the rights of others under her. So she was going to be mentoring other people into that role. A different franchisor reached out yesterday. He lives out of state in a very large city elsewhere in the country and had only just become aware of the Gilbert Goons situation. It's not national news. He
We just
became
talked
aware
about
of
that.
it and spent 24 hours binging all of the information he could to figure out what the heck is going on with these people that he's doing business with. He said that Travis Renner stopped operating one of his franchises in October.
Okay.
And that they were scheduled to break ground on another huge project within weeks.
Okay.
All of that has been stopped. He, as the franchisor,
Because they got lawsuits
has pulled
coming
out and severed ties with both Travis Renner and his business partners, and there will be massive, massive lawsuits.
Yep.
There are fitness-related franchises ready right now for other people to come in and start operating them because they have been opened by the Renners and they are now not being operated anymore.
Okay.
So there is going to.
So same thing happened with the Murdaughs. Seriously, they were trying to hide money. That's what they were doing. They're all dirty. Yep, she lost everything. Stitching, yes, I'm glad you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God. Rakin, thank you, thank you, thank you. With the information that you sent to me, and then I went looking for other information. I really, really, really appreciate that. I really do. And I'm going to keep up with this case. I'm going to see what happens. I know I'm going to be covering Chad Daybell. Now, my question is, the trial is supposed to take 10 days. I do have vacation time. So I'm going to have to see how that works. Oh, thank you. I tried to do you justice. You look, you know how I feel about true crime. But this was a very, and then the other case tomorrow that we're going to talk about, this case is very, very disturbing. The Pennington boy was moved to East Valley from Phoenix to get him out. See, but PMR, did you hear how many times Garrison, that name is in my head, Pennington has been arrested? Did you hear how many times he's been arrested and now indicted? He's not charged with Preston Lord's murder, but he is a little animal. All of these kids, and then there's a 17-year-old girl involved. I'm sure it's like a little gang. You know, they're probably trying to be like the Bloods and the Crips, or, well, I'm not going to say, what is it? What is the Mexican gang called in Texas? Well, it's not just Texas. I forgot the numbers. Oh, damn. But they're trying to be like little gangsters, and these are suburban kids. But it's all a rumor. Oh, okay. But he was just indicted. He was indicted. I don't know how much a rumor that is, but he's indicted now. I'm sorry. What's his name? Garrison. How many? Yeah, I'm sorry. Jacob Pendleton and Gage Garrison. That's right. Gage Garrison. He's been indicted. Pendleton has been arrested like 3 or 4 times now because of attacks in parking lots and an In-N-Out burger. I don't remember him being indicted, but he's been arrested several times. M13, thank you. I couldn't even think. I know it's a number. Look, M13. Okay, look into discrepancies of the bond. Okay, so when I went into, let me tell you, after Rakin sent me everything she did, I went in to pull affidavits, right? So when I went in to pull it, it's a lot. And I went through Pacer to do it. I haven't gone through all of those pages. I haven't. I just haven't gone through every single one of those pages. But I would definitely look at that. Yeah, they threw their lives away. I would definitely look at the bonds. But from what I understand, they were still, let me make sure before I say it. Let me see. I said status. Hold on. I said status of 7 indicted and Peter Preston. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Preston Lord case. What's the status? Okay, as of, let's see. Did any of them get bail? Hold on. Okay, this isn't the one, but I think it's in the documents that I have, but I want to see if any one of them are out, because I don't remember seeing where any of them were out. But I would definitely check PMR, because I'm going to definitely keep my eyes on this case. Definitely want to keep my eyes on this place. And when I looked at the indictment, hold on a second. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go look at the indictment. Hold on. Let me look. It doesn't talk about bonds or bail in the indictments at all. So I'm going to have to pull up the court documents. But I have those. I just haven't had a chance to go through all of them. Most of them are out. They bonded. The ready stuff is not correct for the most part. Okay. Yeah. So there's only 7 kids that are involved in this. And those kids are, we got Dominic Turner, Tristan Billy, Jacob Messner. We have, let me see, Reiner. We have Taylor Reiner, William Hines. What's the other one? Sherman. And I think I got all 7. I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. And well, no, I'd say Turner. Yeah. So I got all 7 of them. So the other kids, Garrison isn't named in any of this. Pendleton isn't named in any of this. So these are the ones that were arrested. Now, they did say that the investigation is still, and Vigil. They did say that the investigation is ongoing and there might be more arrests. I think Renner, Travis should be arrested. What? No, you didn't, PMR. No, you did not. No, you did not. You dated his daddy? Yeah, there need to be more arrests because they said it was a large group of them. And they said it was a lot of them. It wasn't just those 7. It's just the ones I think that they were reading all the text messages and stuff between them. But we have, so let's see. Hold on. Let me get the indictment. So count 1, we have Dominic Turner, Tristan Billy, Jacob Messner. They were charged with taking property of another victim and immediate presence and against his will. So that's the kidnapping, with intent to coerce surrender of the property or prevent resistance. Then we have Dominic Turner. So that's count 1. We have count 2 with them again. And this is kidnapping, attempted to do the kidnapping. Count 3 is when the intent to place somebody in imminent physical injury. So they have 3 counts right now. And I'm sure they're going to add more to that. Oh my God, not his daddy, a cousin or okay. Yes. So Travis should be arrested. Now, we don't know what the mother knew. If she was a part of them trying to hide the fact that her son brutally attacked somebody, hit him, and even once they hit him, he was down, they were kicking and stomping him. That was intentional. Intentional. So I'm going to keep up with this case and I'm going to see what's going on. And I'm definitely going to try to find that damn video because the only video about the lockdown is from the TikToker. I don't know if she's I guess she might be a lawyer, but that's the only thing. Now, Talon is 17. He makes twice the size of Preston Lord. He was twice the size of that little boy. So, oh my God. I know. I was trying to find your husband in Vegas. I really was. Look, I was on a scavenger hunt to find him in Vegas. I really, really was. You told me to see, can I find your husband? And I was on a scavenger hunt. I was all through the Venetian. I went to Caesars. I didn't see him. And then he was leaving. I was only there for a day. And then he was there for a week before I got there. You were in Vegas last month. So my sister went to Vegas this past week. And I was supposed to join her. But the fact that shit happens at work. So I will be going. I'm going to go to Reno. Yep, I was at the Palazzo. So, well, no, I mean, I stay, let me see, what wing? When I'm at the Venetian, I stay, not the Palazzo. I don't stay, I stay on the, you're walking in. I always stay towards the right. Is that the Palazzo Tower? No, I stay in the Venetian Tower. I stay in the Venetian Tower. No, I stay in the Venetian Tower. So that's where I stay. I don't like that side. I stay on the Venetian side. So I walk in, you check in. I always go to the right to go walk around and go around that way. So I stay in the Venetian towers. So that's where I like to stay. But I did say the next time I go, I was going to try that tower. I don't know. We'll see. I did. Well, no. When I was there in Margaritaville, I was there. Did we see? I was there for Christmas. We were there for a week. Didn't see Margaritaville was closed. Oh, closing. I hit on red. I love it. Okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna I just said I'm not going to Vegas in June. I'm gonna go to Reno. I haven't been to Reno in about 2 years. So I'm gonna go to Reno. That's where I'm going. I'm heading to Reno. So I will be staying there. Which hotel closed today? I know. Let me tell you what I stayed at shit. What's the one that they renovated like 2 years ago? I stayed there for 2 nights waiting for my other room to open up. Damn. It's right past the Venetian. Oh, I can't think of the name of the hotel. You're heading to New Orleans. Oh my God. I was just home in January. I was supposed to be there for February, but I had to go home in January. The Flamingo. Thank you. I stayed at the Flamingo. The Flamingo. I love the Flamingo. Love their rooms, everything, but I prefer the Venetian. Or I like to be on Fremont at the D. No, not Circus. I go there sometimes because they have some pretty good slots right to the front. But I had a room there one time for a couple of people that came in. But no, I like the Flamingo. I was very impressed with the rooms and everything and the view. And I was just shocked. So I don't stay at Harrods anymore. Good night, sweetie. But yeah, so we will be going to Reno towards the end of May, beginning of June. I'm heading to Reno. But go to New Orleans. I'm gonna have to get so are you taking a cruise out of New Orleans, or are you just going to New Orleans? New Orleans, as y'all say, but New Orleans. So are you taking a cruise out of New Orleans? Because my sisters just came off a cruise. Girl, go head on. So you do 22 to... Oh, I like you, PMR. I like you. I only play roulette when I in Louisiana when I go when one of my sister's friends are with me. Okay, Memphis to New Orleans on the Mississippi River. Okay. Okay, you're gonna go down on Beale Street. Okay. I haven't been in Memphis and Nashville in quite some time. I think the last time I was in Nashville, it was 2019. Oh, that's all you give yourself is 200? Yeah, I try to stay like around 1,000. I really do, but it never seems to work that way. Well, no, because I win, and then I get greedy and I want to play it all back. Oh, you just got back from Beale Street. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you have fun. Enjoy yourself. But I won't be able to get out on vacation until May. I have to train a couple of people that are coming in. I'll have to go to Montreal in a week or two, and then I will be able to take some vacation. Really? Okay. All right. Well, you should try to make it to Nashville too. You should really try to get to Nashville. But you guys, thank you for being here. I will be keeping up on Preston's case. Tomorrow night, we have a gruesome one, and he's not a victim, just so you know. If you don't mind, you can read up on this piece of shit. Look, you hear me? This piece of shit. You can read up on him. But you know what? His mother did right. by turning him in. And we're going to watch this, and we're going to talk about this young man who was well on his way to being a serial killer. Well on his way to being a serial killer. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be covering, I'm sorry, my voice has been going in and out. My allergies are kicking my butt. But we're going to discuss the case of Brian, what's his name? Kuhi. He was well on his way to becoming a serial killer. So if you guys are not, oh, you love oh my God, calamari. I love calamari. Who's going to bitch about me going on vacation? So gonna go to Cabo San Lucas. I said the next time. Okay, so when I used to go to Puerto Rico, I used to always stay in old Puerto Rico. The last three times I've stayed in New San Juan. So, but I haven't been to the Virgin Islands in a long time, and I need to go. I got to talk to my friends in Houston to see when are we going to take that trip again. Oh my God, no problem. But tomorrow night, guys, please, please, please do me a favor. Catch up on the case of Brian Cohee. It's Cohee. And you're going to see he was well on his way to becoming a serial killer. Well on his way. So I will see you all tomorrow night. I really have to go and listen to a few things. Reagan, I caught, I need to finish up on your P. Diddy stuff. There's a lot. Boy, this is going to be, good night, PMR. This is going to be something that's coming out. And then all of these old interviews that they're doing with all of these people that surfaced way back when. You have Mace up talking. So Debbie and I, thank you, Bay Watchers. So Debbie and I would definitely we're going to continue our P. Diddy stuff as we get more stuff. And when I see something funny, I post it on my community tab. But there's so much going on, and there's a lot of stories that are not true. I listened to somebody today, and it was done yesterday, and they're saying that P. Diddy was still out of the country. No, he's not. The Diddler. He's in Miami. He is not. Oh, you have over 40 Diddy documents. The case says no, it won't quit. So I keep pulling stuff. And then Ethiopia came up, and she said that she has not agreed to testify, but people saying and that's what was being said. I read her documents, and she's stating that not one time did she say that she was going to testify. She said she's never been to the LA home or the Miami home, but then she said she's been to the LA home like 4 or 5 times to get documents signed and stuff like that. So she's contradicting herself all over the place. So I've been doing a lot of reading up on that. So I will definitely see you guys tomorrow, then Thursday. I need to see if my flight is next week. It depends on the start date for the new person. I will be going to Montreal. Yes, she did. So we're gonna so that's a really good one. So P. Diddy is just, and then hold on a second. I put something on my community tab. If you guys haven't seen it, please go watch it. He's on Instagram asking people who rocks with him, who's going to fuck with him. If you rock with him, say something, because all this dick energy, he had the nerve to say the word dick. I'm just done. I'm just done. He hasn't learned his lesson yet, but Jay-Z is not returning calls. But now I'm hearing that there is evidence and videos of Jay-Z and Beyonce at these freak-offs as well. So I am dying to see about this. So I've been digging on that too. Reagan, we need to dig. Jay-Z and Beyonce has just gone quiet. So, but they said they've uncovered, there were hidden cameras in every room. They have video evidence. And again, the feds don't go in. You cannot get that type of warrant without evidence. Without evidence to go in the way they did. And the reason they hit that LA home the way they did, because there was evidence and proof that there was guns and not just regular guns in that home. His shooting victim, yes. I've seen her from the way back when. She's always said since the shooting that Diddy is the one that shot her in the face, and he paid her to change her story. Yep, and they needed probable cause, especially for that type of warrant. I mean, for the way they went in, they had the probable cause. Now, what bothers me is whether or not he's going to see a day in court. Who knows? But the fact that his reputation, his brand is being tarnished, I'm loving it, because he's been all that big, thick energy, as he says. Okay, so I love you guys. I would definitely see you later, and you have a great evening. I'm going to go eat, and because I came straight home and I had like 10 minutes to get myself together. So I'm going to go eat and take me a nice hot bath, and I'm going to bed. Thank you, guys. Be sure to hit the like button, please. I don't ask for anything. Just hit the like button. Oh, I forgot. I got to be, I'm going to start grifting for a microphone, because everybody's gotten laptops. I don't need a laptop. I have two. So I'm going to start grifting for a microphone, and I'll think of something else. Thank you, guys. Bye. Again, Rakin, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know, but I guess he thinks he has big dick energy. You know, Baywatcher. Love you guys. Good night.